People like to say the official bird of Atlanta is the crane. It's an old joke, but it's not a bad one because today Atlanta is considered the jewel of the South. And its skyline literally sparkles with opportunity. But along with the billions of dollars in new high-profile development here, Mayor Andre Dickens wants to make sure that no one is left behind, no matter where they live, especially the city's most vulnerable residents.
All right, here we go. Ready? Look this way, everybody.
That's why the mayor created the Affordable Housing Strike Force to prioritize development projects and coordinate planning to target communities and people in need of safe and secure housing, like the Juanita H. Gardner Village in Adamsville, which will offer 108 units to legacy residents when it's complete.
Often when we talk about affordable housing, the focus sometimes is on young people and on families, but it's equally important for us to look out for our seniors as well. As Atlanta has grown to be such a desired place to live, we have unfortunately found it hard to keep legacy residents as the cost of living has increased. We are making sure that we look out and prefer to make sure that we keep people living in this city, and that means our seniors as well.
On three, 1, 2, 3, cut.
The mayor's list of affordable housing projects is long, and it encompasses communities from all over the city. These sites are just a sample of the work being done right now, thanks to the more than $100 million in investments announced by Mayor Dickens this year. The funding for the projects comes from a variety of sources that include the American Rescue Plan and the city's Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which will literally transform properties that have been vacant or underutilized for years.
I set a goal of building or preserving 20,000 units of affordable housing over the next 8 years. So that means by 2030, you will have 20,000 more units of housing that's affordable to people that live, work, and play in the city of Atlanta.
Affordable housing is one of the pillars of the mayor's administration because it increases economic mobility and decreases intergenerational poverty.
It is no secret that we are seeing rents increase in our city, both in the south and the west part of our city. Statistics are showing that the maximum rent in a low-income household can pay without being cost burdened is about $750 a month. But only 10% of newly built apartments are renting for less than $1,000 a month. In fact, I saw some recent numbers, $2,300 for a one bedroom.
Denise Charles knows all about Atlanta's high rents. That's what drove her to the West Side and Columbia Canopy at Grove Park, where she took advantage of one of the city's newest affordable apartment units.
I moved in April when it first opened, and I love the location and the fact that it's always quiet. I appreciate the affordability factor because, you know, I still have to work, pay bills, drive a car, pay the gas and insurance and everything. If you walk in, you wouldn't know the difference if you was walking into a brand new condo or an older condo.
Thanks to the city's strong relationship with stakeholders like Partners for Home, thousands of formerly unhoused residents like Richard DeShields now have their own place to live.
And I honestly believe that Mayor Dickens is putting a lot of people on the path of what I got.
In addition to helping unsheltered residents, the city has also secured millions of dollars for housing to residents with AIDS through Jerusalem House and Atlanta's HOPWA program. Healthy neighborhoods create an environment for success, which is why the Atlanta Police Department is stepping up its enforcement of nuisance property laws.
There's a hazard on that side with the vegetation, and there's a hazard on this side with the porch in danger of collapsing. So I utilized the vacant property next to it to access the rear of this property, and that's why I observed the open window in the rear, with two open windows in the rear. Since there's an opening, the property is vacant, but it's accessible, I have to put the hazard placard on.
Even one empty house without the proper maintenance and upkeep can breed crime and violence.
This is saying that code enforcement has been here and code enforcement has observed violations at this property.
There was a time when this property was considered a violent and dangerous nuisance to the community. But today, Columbia at Capitol View is a success story, reimagined and transformed into an affordable housing asset on the Beltline. Further proof that change is not only possible, but in Atlanta, it's inevitable. I'm Keith Whitney.